Janine Beauty.
And I'm...
Okay. Sorry, technical difficulties. Cut.
Technical difficulties. Oh. Oh God, now I'm nervous because I just got fucked.
I thought I messed up. Welcome to Pangea Now. I'm Janine Beauty.
And I'm Sono. Namaste.
Pangea Now is Globesville's own first new and improved talk show. It's going to be on every Wednesday at this time. We're going to talk about a bunch of topics, like trending topics. Sono has a fashion segment.
Fashion.
Yeah, 'cause she looks cute as always.
Thanks.
News, sports, campus life, a bit of everything. So stay tuned. It's about an hour segment or so, but you get to see our faces and some other cute faces as well. We're going to start it off with some trending topics. First one is a viral video that most of you may have seen on Facebook or Instagram. It's the Alaskan news reporter that quit her job in a very interesting way. Did you see this?
Yes,
Yeah.
actually I did.
Yeah. Charlotte Green stood up for what she believed in and decided that she didn't want her job no more. Yeah. Yep, what she believed in. And she might have been under the influence, as you say, for this video. So let's take a look at exactly how she quit her job.
The actual owner of the Alaska Cannabis Club will be dedicating all of my energy toward fighting for freedom and fairness, which begins with legalizing marijuana here in Alaska. And as for this job, well, not that I have a choice, but fuck it, I quit.
All right, we apologize for that. We'll be right back. Pardon for us. Meanwhile, the vote yes.
Well, that's an interesting way to quit your job.
F this.
I'm very sorry about that. I'm very
Just kidding.
sorry.
I'm just kidding.
I was going to say, it's our first episode.
I know you
You're
need
stuck
me.
here. If I have to do this, you have to do
I'm
this.
stuck here because we're about. Come on, I can't leave the show because I don't want to get F.
I felt bad
semester.
for that poor girl, though.
Yeah.
I mean, quitting job is one thing, but quitting your job for a point, I understand. But to curse on camera, I mean, that had to have been that was planned.
She was clearly high.
Yeah.
High as F.
She was
and
showing what she supported in and how she felt in
Yeah.
that moment.
Yeah,
And
and
she's never gonna get a job again.
Definitely not. But I hope she gets some money. Can you get some money with the cannabis club in Alaska?
Well, she's being the president of it. I can't see her making much money, but I mean, yeah, I guess it's a cause to stick up for. But that's one way to go up in smoke when it comes to your
because I
job.
really want to
No pun
know
intended.
if you make money.
Yeah.
I have to rethink about my career, because a lot of opportunities right there.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Stick to your guns. Anyway, the next trending topic is one a little bit different. A lot of you may have heard of Urban Outfitters. You know, the place that sells the hipster, trendy clothes.
Expensive clothes.
Very expensive clothes that look like you paid $5 for them or pulled them out of your grandma's closet.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not only are they selling interesting, ugly clothes, and you get funny memorabilia there and stuff, they got into a little bit of heat this year because they sold a sweatshirt with Kent State logo on it. That's fine, right? It says 1970 on it, but it's also torn and covered in fake blood. Now, there it is. It's not very attractive. It looks pretty 90s.
Looks
I
like
can see the fashion.
a rag that I have to throw it or clean my house with, probably.
Well, do you know, you've heard of the Kent State Massacre, right?
I have no idea
No.
what you're talking about.
For most of you who don't know, there was in the 70s, obviously, there was many protests against the war, and the police department called in the state troopers on horses, and they opened fire and killed a bunch of college students in Ohio. So,
oh my God.
untastefully, they posted this picture of, posted a picture and sold this shirt with the same exact date and same college, and they immediately took it down. But my issue with it is you're going to get college students or people that don't know what it is, buy the shirt, walk around with it, thinking, oh, look, I'm cool. I have a torn, fun, vintage shirt. Yeah.
I don't.
I know.
Kent State was 1970s, and it was the National Guard.
Oh, yeah. So, anyway, I'm sorry. Moving on. Besides that, they've gotten to heat before. In 2010, you know who Sophia Bish is, right?
Yes, One Tree Hill.
Yeah, One Tree Hill. I think it's Chicago Fire that she's on now, on the new show after NBC, SVU.
Mm-hmm.
She went up against them in 2010 for a shirt that they had put out and were selling that said "Eat Less." She believed that it was very bad for women's image, women's, body issues and stuff, that they should be promoting something that said a message like this.
I don't really think so. Eat less means anything. Like, it just makes no sense. It's just a cloth and it's a shirt. People don't need to take that seriously. And plus, those clothes are with fake blood on it, and you pay $650 for it. You can go to the thrift store and get it for $2.
Yeah,
or maybe less.
Yeah. The sweatshirt, I wasn't sure how much it was. They took it down so fast that you can't find the price. But they have overalls on there for $650. I mean, come on. Overalls should have went out with the 90s to begin with. No one should be wearing overalls.
No, nasty. That's really... And it's fake blood. Like, really?
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Let's just say Urban Outfitters has made some iffy choices in the last couple of years. And
I'm not really into Urban Outfitters because they really have cheap clothes and no. Moving on. Hackers are back. Why am I smiling? I have no idea. It's a very serious issue, by the way.
It's not a serious issue.
I mean, it is. It's about feminism, Come on.
If you could take a picture of yourself naked and send it to somebody, and you're famous, then you should be okay with other people seeing it too. Because let's put it this way: you walk around the street, you can't even go to Target without getting.
I can't. I'm not gonna hear that because you keep saying that famous people are not supposed to take naked pictures and normal people can take it. That's not fair.
If you want to take if you want to take a naked picture, own it. You know what? Get paid for it at least. But don't put your head in it.
Are you serious?
If you're famous, you're gonna get hacked.
Look, this is so not right.
Agree to disagree?
Agree to disagree, definitely. See, so my girl Emma Watson, that I'm not really a big fan of.
She's so cute.
She can be cute, but I'm not really a big fan of her. But you all know from Harry Potter girl, yes, that's her.
She was a couple other things, but that's what she's Hermione. And she gave this excellent speech. It was a long speech, but we have a short clip talking about feminism, and here it is. Good for her.
Your Excellencies, UN Secretary General, President of the General Assembly, Executive Director of UN Women, and distinguished guests. Today, we are launching a campaign called He for She. I am reaching out to you because we need your help. We want to end gender inequality, and to do this, we need everyone involved. This is the first campaign of its kind at the UN. We want to try and galvanize as many men and boys as possible to be advocates for change. And we don't just want to talk about it. We want to try and make sure that it's tangible. I was appointed as Goodwill Ambassador for UN Women 6 months ago. And the more I've spoken about feminism, the more I have realized that fighting for women's rights has too often become synonymous with man-hating. If there is one thing I know for certain, it is that this has to stop. For the record, feminism, by definition, is the belief that men and women should have equal rights and opportunities. It is the theory of the political, economic, and social equality of the sexes. I started questioning gender-based assumptions a long time ago. When I was 8, I was confused being called bossy because I wanted to direct the plays that we would put on for our parents. But the boys were not. When at 14, I started to be sexualized by certain elements of the media. When at 15, my girlfriends started dropping out of their beloved sports teams because they didn't want to appear muscly. When at 18, my male friends were unable to express their feelings. I decided that I was a feminist, and this seemed uncomplicated to me. But my recent research has shown me
So I'm gonna take
that
the
feminism
celebrity that
has
I
become
can't say
an
and correct me
unpopular word.
because I'm still confused, honestly. Celebrity. Apparently, I can't say that word. Celebrity.
Famous people.
Famous people. Celebrity.
Okay.
Celebrity.
Celebrity.
We have celebrity naked pictures. No, we don't. I'm just talking about that.
Here's Jennifer Lawrence. No.
We really don't. Let's talk about celebrity for celebrity. Photo pictures like Rihanna, Kim Kardashian. Okay, let's not talk about them because we all know they
all leaked.
Yeah.
And
Let's talk about celebrities that are not famous for naked pictures, like Jennifer Lawrence and Avril Lavigne. I mean, I've never heard about anything like that. I feel concerned.
Well, Jennifer Lawrence got hacked. She was one of the hackers.
Yeah,
but she's saying, but she's not someone that. Yeah.
And Apple admitted that something is wrong with the iCloud, and iCloud, I always look at iCloud up because it's
no one
cloud.
understands the cloud. I don't know.
No one understands the cloud. It's a mystery. But Apple has admitted that it's their problem and they're going to solve it. And sources also said that it was a hoax and it was just to scare Emma Watson.
Yeah, well, the whole thing was a joke against Emma Watson, where they started a countdown on the site saying she was next. And that's why she took a stance, and good for her. I mean, she sounded smart, she sounded educated, and she put a good argument out there.
Ladies, don't take naked pictures.
And if you do, prepare for consequences, because
don't take
put something out there on the internet or on the cloud, you never know where it's going to go, because even Apple doesn't understand the cloud.
And if you send naked pictures, you better have... To any person, please make sure that you have their naked picture too, so that you can take revenge.
Blackmail 101, that's a next segment for us.
No, I'm just saying. I'm giving them...
What's the next trending topic, Sono?
The next trending topic is a little serious. Let's talk about national security. So initially, Iran declined to aid the U.S. in the war against ISIS, that stands for Islamic State of Iraq, and they say that they declined the help to help with terrorism in Iraq. What do you have to say about it?
I don't really like to talk about war too much. I just know, especially growing up, I feel like as an American, we've been very privileged, and this is going to sound horrible, Judge. But I feel though we grew up in an era where we don't have to worry about getting bombed every day. Only massive attack we've ever had in America is 9/11, and that was the only time our country's ever seen that. We're a very safe country, and we tend to get in situations, and I like to say I trust my country, and the politically correct answer is they're making the right decisions. But it's hard. I'd like to do more research and see from another point of view, like another cultural point of view. I mean, for you didn't grow up here.
American Army also says that it works two ways, and to get help, they need for them to say that they need help because they cannot help them if they're not ready for it. And I really agree with the American, like at least you guys have better environment. Now when we talk about India, we get bombed every second day.
And that's scary.
Life.
Yeah, we don't deal with that.
Hey, it's not scary when it happens every day. It's not really scary. You get used to it.
Yeah.
Bomb. It's just so normal.
Yeah. Here it's we get one thing and that's it.
We've
never had anything
by
like
China, Pakistan, Iraq, Iran, everything. We are attacked by everybody because we are successful people. Yeah. And let's talk about positive. Do you know that India created history by entering, I can't say this word, Mangalyaan.
Say that 5
Indians
times
will
fast.
hate me after this. Mangalyaan in
Oh, I heard
orbit,
of-
and we were
yeah.
the first people in the whole world to enter Mars in 3 hours. Do you know that? 3
No.
hours.
And a lot of people probably didn't know that, but
But we good, okay?
Yeah.
We intelligent people.
yeah. So,
Moving along
okay.
after the proud Indian scene. So massive march took place, as you know,
Yeah.
last Monday,
Monday,
and
yes.
there were hundreds of protesters got arrested.
I think it was
Last
2
Monday.
Mondays ago. Yeah.
This Monday, last Monday.
Yeah.
So I say last Monday,
Yep.
right? And there were hundreds of people who got arrested
Yeah.
for protesting and while
A lot-
eating.
a
And
lot
there were
in
like
costume.
thousands of people, and it was going really well. It was a non-violent traffic, like till noon.
Yeah, there was people dressed up in costumes. There was people of Planet Earth. There was people dressed up as
Hippies,
polar
bunch of
bears.
hippies.
Yeah. And the funny part is there's rumors going around and pictures on the websites, which you don't know could be doctored, but that after this peaceful protest saying that they were pretty much saying Wall Street was causing the environment, like killing the environment and going against big corporations and whatnot. They left apparently a bunch
And
of trash
whatnot.
behind. You know, they're talking about environmental issues and trying to save the earth, yet apparently they all littered. And I don't know how true that is. It could have been doctored. There's a lot of news articles show the mess. Some just show one table and say there was more. We didn't get pictures, but I just thought that was pretty funny.
Do you know this? The celebrity. Who, celebrity. Oh my
Celebrity.
god! I just need. I'm gonna correct myself. Celebrity. Oh my god. Celebrity who's really active in environment, planet to save the planet. Guess who is that person? I'll give you. He's really romantic. I'll give you a hint. He's really romantic.
Really romantic?
I'm gonna give you another hint.
Oh, Leonardo DiCaprio. Yep.
Yeah!
Yep. He was there with his ponytail.
My man,
Yeah.
Leonardo DiCaprio.
never-
He's been protesting. He
was there.
He's been going. He has his own organization that's called Leonardo DiCaprio .organization. You guys should check it out. And he's doing great
Organization,
things. He
yeah.
wants to promote the awareness of hazards
Yeah.
about environment.
Check out his
levels
website.
rising.
Yeah.
Check out his website. It's really cool, and he's also working for momentofAction.organization. That's excellent. You should go and watch his videos that he's been promoting. It's on YouTube, it's on Facebook, it's everywhere. It's great.
He makes donations himself.
Great job.
Yeah.
You're good looking and you're amazing. Marry me.
Yet he
I'm
can't
serious.
win an Oscar.
Please marry me. I'll do this all my life.
Yeah. Anyway, speaking of a small celebrity that made a name for himself, have you seen that video? There's a video out there. The newest president of Columbia University, his name is Scott Dalrymple. Interesting last name. Tried to join as president with a big bang. He came in and made a promotional video challenging his students, because he's a huge gamer, to Madden NFL 15. The whole point of it was to get to get his students together. I can't say that word.
Something that you
I
can't
can't say. Fine. See, we're on the same page. We can't speak. We're hosting a talk show.
Yeah,
we can't speak.
can't speak. Come, what is it?
We need speech lessons.
Kamala.
Anyway, Scott Dalrymple. I could say his last name though. apparently.
Dalrymple.
Dalrymple. Anyway, he posted a video challenging his students to play him and beat him in Madden 15. And if they beat him, they would get free textbooks for a year, which is big if you're a student. That's a lot of money. And he practices 2 hours a night. He got over 250,000 views for this video, and we have a clip of it now. But it's a pretty interesting way to start your career as a president of college. Let's take a look.
Hi, I'm Dr. Scott Dalrymple, 17th president of Columbia College in Columbia, Missouri. We've been around since 1851, and we take tradition seriously. That's why, as part of my inauguration festivities this October, we'll be doing something that colleges and universities have done for hundreds of years. I'm talking, of course, about Madden NFL. On October 17th, I'll be hosting a Madden NFL 25 tournament on PS4. From this this white-hot crucible of competition, one student will emerge, hardened like a piece of steel forged in the fires of Mount Doom, ready to face me in an epic showdown on the big screen in front of a live audience. You can play as any team you like. The St. Louis Rams, the Dallas Cowboys, the Chicago Bears. You can even choose a professional team. I'll be playing as the greatest team in the history of professional sports, which is, of course, the Buffalo Bills. Defeat me, and I'll personally buy your textbooks for the entire academic year. But I must warn you, I've been practicing. Ooh, that has to hurt. Ooh, that's what I'm talking about. It's all the list. Oh! Clinic is over. So sign up for the challenge and earn a chance at free books for a year. On me, maybe.
The cool thing about that video, Sonal, is he actually had students help him produce it. They helped him make the video, and the challenge is October 17th, and hopefully someone will beat him. I mean, I thought it was pretty funny.
He's an awesome professor,
president, yeah.
Everything. Professors and everything of NYT, are you guys listening?
Yeah. And we
have to be cool like this.
Yeah. I mean,
please.
We have a big gaming community here. It'd be interesting to see Pangea Gaming talk to the gamers about this and see if they would be interested in doing this with maybe some of the faculty here. I don't know how many teachers here are gamers, but there's got to be somebody.
I'm sure.
There are
plenty. I'm sure there are plenty.
Maybe not free textbooks, just maybe some free lunch or something.
That would be cool.
Interesting. But on to another Columbia. Columbia University in New York recently has been getting a lot of publicity for an art piece, I guess you can say. Most of you have seen the woman carrying around the mattress. There she is. Now, you might have seen the picture, not read the article, not know much about why she's carrying this mattress around. She had been a victim of sexual assault and rape by one of her former fellow classmates. And she took it to the board, and apparently they found him not guilty. Besides him not being guilty, he was still allowed to attend school, and so was she. So in political protest and as an art statement, she carries her mattress around everywhere she goes on campus. Outside of campus, she doesn't. But it's gotten to the point now where fellow students have been helping her carry this mattress. It's a pretty great cause, and she's making a statement. And it got us thinking, and Globesville and George Manassi here, about what really, it does to someone's psyche when they're sexually assaulted or sexually harassed. And he sat down with one of the psychologists here to talk about that and how to cope with it and how to deal with it. So here is George with his Local Minute of the Week.
Take.
All right, and we're on the phone with George Manassi, and he sat down with Professor Beth Adubato, professor here at NYIT and Behavioral Sciences and Criminal Justice. George, what did you guys talk about when you sat down with her?
Well, first, Professor Adubato explained to me what sexual harassment is. And what it is when a person advances sexually onto another person, whether it be verbally or physically. And it is clearly unwanted attention. And one of the things that can lead to this is whether they don't understand the consequences behind it. And that's when it usually ends up leading into an offense, is when it's
unwanted?
Yeah.
Okay, and did she give you any prevention tips about sexual harassment?
She explained to me that certain prevention tips can be when it could be educating the kids of tomorrow who are exposed to certain forms of media that show sexual harassment in a very vulgar manner, and how it also depicts certain people in a very sexually harassing way. And she told me that one of the ways that we can actually prevent this in the future is parents and schools educating the kids, explaining to them what sexual harassment is, what are the consequences behind it, and what are certain examples of sexual harassment so they don't go out doing it. So these people who look after the youth of tomorrow, they have to understand that when they listen to something like this, they take it as if it's okay. They figure if someone else does it, it's fine, which it absolutely isn't.
Right, agreed. So you would say overall, she told you to educate them young?
Yes.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for your time, George.
Thank you very much.
And
It sounded like George got a lot of great information from her. Yeah. So, I mean, it's a real thing that happens all the time, and people don't really know how to handle it, I'm sure. It's a scary situation for women, and when you're on campus, you need to know how to handle yourself, and you need to know.
Hey, you gotta applaud for that girl, you know?
Yeah.
She's fighting for her justice, and she really needs to get justice because, come on.
Yeah. And, I mean, that's what it is. It always comes down to a he said, she said situation, which is hard to prove. But she's taking a stance and saying, this is what happened to me, and I don't want it to happen to somebody else.
I don't think any girl will actually come up with wrong stories like this unless until you're really evil and you have some motive behind it. So.
All right, well, now we're going to go on to a more fun topic, let's say. I'm Liam Motti, our own Liam Motti.
British guy,
yeah. Soccer player, goalie actually, just found that out today, will be telling us a little about our sports scores this week and giving you some more information in the sports world. Let's cue to Liam.
Hello, I'm Liam Waddy and I'm here with your Pangea NOW sports news. Andy Murray, is he Scottish? Is he British? Who knows? Well, the British #1 and ATP World 11 hasn't always had the greatest reception by the British public, more specifically, the English. In 2006, he said he would support anyone but England during the FIFA World Cup. And more recently, in August of 2014, he said he'd prefer to represent Scotland if the country became independent. Tut, 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 Mr. Murray. However, the recent scandal came about after he tweeted his opinion on the Scottish independence, in which he suggested the No campaign's negativity swayed his decision. He later went on to state that he was disappointed with the way he voiced his opinion, but didn't regret giving his opinion on the subject. Unfortunately for Murray, he doesn't live in Scotland, so he didn't even get to vote anyway. In other news, Ray Rice has been suspended indefinitely from the NFL after footage of him striking his wife has been leaked and reviewed by the league. The Baltimore Ravens have also terminated his contract. The NFL's commissioner, Roger Goodell, originally gave Rice a 2-game ban when the first video emerged. However, after the second video was leaked, the league took a harsher stand and ultimately suspended him indefinitely. Now let's cross over to Harvey Hoop and see what the public opinion is on the matter.
I'm here with Jason Imperati, NYT Athletics Compliance Officer. I was going to ask him a few questions about the Ray Rice controversy and how he feels about it. So, Jason, how do you view professional athletes?
It's a good question. I think professional athletes have an obligation. A lot of young men, women, and children, things of that nature, look up to these people. So it's kind of a terrible cross to bear, but they have to be a role model. You know, when they do slip up, it's just unfortunate because the media makes a big deal of it. You know, it's what makes Sports Center, so they're in a tough light.
How did you react to the Ray Rice controversy yourself?
Personally, I was pretty shocked by it. His character and everything that you heard about him, he was a really good person. Or from what you have read and all his contributions at Rutgers and things of that nature. So it's pretty eye-opening, pretty shocking. So it was definitely something that I will never be a Ray Rice fan ever again.
In the decision that the NFL made, they suspended him indefinitely. Do you believe they made the correct decision?
You know, I think the NFL dropped the ball really on the whole situation. I think they had a really great opportunity to show their athletes and their superstars that they do have an obligation to be respectful of everything, and they're not above the law and things of that nature. The indefinite suspension is kind of now a little bit, in my opinion, hypocritical because they still don't have a policy in place. Like I said, I think a year suspension would have been appropriate. This indefinite suspension thing kind of leaves a gray area for a lot of folks to continue debating the policy. So, if I was the NFL, if I was in their shoes, it would have been a year, and then you kind of, move on from there.
What's your view on abuse itself?
I definitely do not condone it whatsoever. There's no place in society for it.
All right. Thanks, Jason.
Thank you.
I think that the NFL's decision to suspend Ray Rice indefinitely was definitely the right move to make. I don't agree with his behavior at all. and I hold athletes to a higher standard as well. I believe that they need to be role models and inspire and encourage kids.
Thank you, Harvey. And now here are the classified results for last night's Champions League. CSK Moscow 0, Bayern Munich 1, Manchester City 1, Roma 1, Apel Nicosia 1, Ajax 1, Paris Saint-Germain 3, Barcelona 2, Schalke 1, Maribor 1, Sporting Lisbon 0, Chelsea 1, Bate Borisov 2, Atletico Bilbao 1, Shakhtar Donetsk 2, FC Porto 2, and tonight Liverpool travel to Basel, Arsenal host Galatasaray, and Atletico Madrid face Juventus. That's all we have time for this week. I'm Liam Waddy. This has been Pangea Now Sports News. Now back to you, Crystal. Thank you very much.
Crystal, huh? It's Janine, but thanks, Liam. Anyway, first day, a little bit of mistakes, but anyway, speaking of Ray Rice, you've seen CoverGirl ads? You've seen the CoverGirl ads. If most of you don't know, two women got this idea. Adele Stan, she's met Leslie McFadden on Twitter, and the two of them came up with the idea to make a stance against domestic violence. They took all the men who have been charged with domestic violence in the Pro Football League, took their jerseys, put them on women, and gave women black eyes and took photos of them to prove holding footballs, photoshopped pictures with black eyes to make a stance against the domestic violence. There's a few of the pictures. Now, beautiful women, but it's horrific to look at. It's pretty bad. pretty bad. But the whole point of it was, to stand up against what the NFL is doing, and to their goal was to get the NFL commissioner Roger Goldwell to resign with pressure from them. But they haven't yet released their sponsorship, which is interesting if you ask me. I mean, I think that puts a pretty clear message out there.
Yeah, that's a bold photos out there. Like, good. Like, I really want someone to take stand, and people should be punished for whatever they're doing wrong.
Like, I agree. I feel also, though, it's hard because you think about it. Chris Brown, he still has a career, so it's kind of hard to understand if the NFL should be responsible, if the music industry shouldn't have to be responsible for Chris Brown. Granted, they had to do it. It's not, once that video came out, they had no choice. But
yeah,
the guy has no career now, and it's kind of like one of those situations where if he was in any other job, would that really happen?
Not really, because he's famous. That's why he got pulled on for it.
But Chris Brown was famous.
Which is really bad, because I agree with Chris Brown, and there are other celebrities who do domestic violence. And by the way, Solange attacked Jay-Z. That's domestic violence. I just don't like about the
Jay-Z could have defended himself, though.
He's a gentleman.
Yeah.
If I was Jay-Z, I would have totally punched her.
I love that video when Beyonce, though, just moves her dress aside so her dress doesn't get dirty.
Yeah, come on.
She didn't even pretend.
Now you got a problem with that, too?
Well, anyway, enough for the domestic violence for today. But so far, he hasn't resigned. They haven't pulled their sponsorship. But their message did come out pretty clear in those photos. On to something a little better. Recently, I sat down in the studio and did a Skype call with NYT's own baseball fitness coach, and he gave us some health tips. So take a look. He gave us about 6 health tips on how to live a healthy life. Recording.
My name is Steve Malvagna. I am the assistant baseball coach, and I deal with the strength and conditioning for the baseball team. A little background on myself. I was a college athlete. I played professionally for 5 years, so I've always been involved with health and fitness. I'm very close with my former trainer, so I'm in constant communication with him. Eating habits, workout habits. So if I had 5 healthy tips for you, the first one would be staying hydrated, drinking a lot of water. I know everybody recommends anywhere from 8 to 12, or you see a lot of people carrying around those big gallon jugs. I would recommend that. The more the better. You'll know when your body has had enough water. So like I said, the more water, the better. A good way to kickstart your metabolism is, well, first thing when you get up in the morning is to have a glass of water. So that's a good way. The water kind of keeps everything flowing and keeps everything moving through your body. So that would be tip number 1. Number 2 would be definitely get a lot of sleep. Rest and recovery is the most important thing when trying to rebuild new muscle and recover from previous day's workout. So definitely sleep. Tip number 3, obviously, would be eating healthy. It seems complicated, especially if you continue to read constant articles on health and nutrition. It could become a little confusing. If you keep it simple, my trainer and I speak a lot about that, and if it wasn't around 10,000 years ago, the general rule of thumb is don't eat it. So pretty much you're eating lean meats, fruits, vegetables. You can mix in some grains, but typically you want to stay away from, obviously, all of your junk food, foods with a lot of high in sugar, white grains like white rice, white bread. You'd want to kind of prefer the whole grains, multi-grain, whole wheat. Tip number 4 would be exercise. You have to exercise. So I think, most people recommend 3 to 5 days a week, anywhere from 30 to 90 minutes. And that doesn't typically mean you have to go in the weight room and do weightlifting exercises. You could go in, you could go for a jog, you could play tennis, jump rope. Any kind of physical activity for 30 to 90 minutes is good. So you could vary it up.
Great.
The 5th thing I would say is anything for your mental health. You want to stay mentally healthy. So any hobbies you have, I know yoga's become very big, and different forms of meditation have become big too. So you really want to help yourself stay sane, because it's a grind. Eating healthy is not easy, and if it's the first time you're doing it, your body's going through changes you're not used to, so it could become a little difficult to adjust. So definitely stay mentally healthy.
Great, thank you so much. Now, I have a quick question. For students on campus, when they have to eat something quick, I know it's easier to pick the most unhealthy option. What would you tell them to pick out of the cafeteria if they had to eat something and they didn't have anything on hand?
That's a lot of the problems I deal with our team in specific. A lot of times they're on the go, and they don't have time for a full sit-down meal. Any kind of, if you could bring oatmeal on the go, or I don't know if they have granola bars are good. Any piece of fruit is good. And, you could take a piece of grilled chicken, anything. You just want to stay away from like the burgers, the pizza, that could be quick too, to just grab a slice of pizza. But think about it, if you're grabbing a slice of pizza and that's quick, it takes nothing to grab like a grilled chicken sandwich or grilled chicken and rice. So, right. But definitely look for those quick snacks, like a handful of nuts, almonds, nuts, granola bars, and a piece of fruit are definitely good, in between meal snacks to have.
All right, great, thank you so much. And if we can, would you mind coming back one time for a demonstration?
So definitely we'd like to, she was mentioning maybe a weekly or an every other week thing where we could show, different warm-ups, exercises, definitely like to get the baseball team involved too. I think that'd be really cool. Great,
thank you so much. All right, back to you, Solomon, back in Globesville. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Hello.
Well, now we know how to eat healthy and what to do on campus, some quick tips. But besides eating healthy, one thing I love the most is popcorn. Do you love popcorn? It's like
and pizza.
Pizza, yeah.
I know what you're talking. I know where you're going. So.
But, popcorn, you think of popcorn, you just think of movies. And if you're a comm arts major, then you know Professor Fizz. And if you know Professor Fizz, then you know Free Flicks Wednesday. Yeah. And if you're not a comm arts major and you don't know Free Flicks Wednesday, then you should. It's here on campus at the Rockefeller Center at 5:30 every Wednesday night. Doors open at 5:30. It starts at 6. Now, every year has a theme, and this year's theme is based on gender. Now, it started last week, and in true form, the first movie was female-based. Well, it was Rebecca by Alfred Hitchcock. This week will be The Adventures of Robin Hood. It's from 1938. It's a classic, and we all know the story. Robin Hood, steals from the rich, gives to the poor, and now you actually have an excuse to know, you'll have a reason to know why Mel Brooks was spoofing it in Robin Hood Men in Tights, which is a great movie also, but at least you get some backstory from it. If you're on campus, you have no excuse, and if you're not on campus, stop down. You get free refreshments, and it's a great way to go on a date night.
Of course.
Take your
With
girlfriend.
Your
Yeah.
Free movie.
Yeah.
You spend at least $50 when you go to a realtor.
Oh, yeah.
50,
and
$60.
To be honest, if you're going to take her to this, take her to dinner after because it's free. You don't want to be that cheap. But we have a trailer for the movie. Take a look, and hopefully we'll see you at Free Flicks Wednesday tonight.
England, in the gallant days when history hung on the point of an arrow or the slash of a sword. when feudal barons and their bold legions vied for power, ravaging the countryside to live in regal pomp and splendor, when one man alone dared challenge the might of his country's oppressors, one leader and his stalwart band, Robin Hood, outlaw of Sherwood Forest, with Will Scarlet and Friar Tuck and Little John and all the other valiant Saxons, robbing the rich to feed the poor, humbling the proud to serve the meek, ready to fight for king, for country, or for maiden fair. Robin Hood, as daring in love as he was in battle, giving his heart to the enchanting Maid Marian and his sword to the cause of King Richard the Lionheart, defying the armies of the cruel
We need a
pretender
new
Prince
topic. I'm
John
over this
and his
topic.
villainous henchman, Sir Guy of Gisborne. Great times were these, when life was filled with battle and romance, and when I tell you that the adventures of Robin Hood with Errol Flynn is the most exciting motion picture treat this old headline hunter has ever had, I am putting it mildly. Now, I am going to let Robin Hood and his men speak for themselves.
Now, this forest is wide. It can shelter and clothe and feed a band of good determined men. Good swordsmen, good archers, good fighters. Are you with me?
But Richard has no army.
No, Your Highness. He had wished to heard of it.
If my brother happened to be killed,
England would have a new king.
And you're leaving here at once. Please, darling, every minute you're here, you're in danger.
Will you come?
To Sherwood?
I've nothing to offer you, a life of hardship and danger. We'd be together.
Because I love you, Robin, I'd come. Even the danger would mean nothing if you were with me.
I suppose you realize the penalty for killing a king's deer is death. Are there no exceptions? Not only has she consorted with this Saxon rebel, found guilty of outlawry, theft, murder, abduction, and high treason, but she has betrayed her own Norman people.
I know now why you tried so hard to kill this outlaw whom you despised. It's because he was the one man in England who protected the helpless against a lot of beasts who were drunk on human blood.
You'll be sorry you interfered.
I'd do it again if you killed me for it.
That is exactly what is going to happen.
He wouldn't dare to execute the king's ward. You underestimate him, sire. If we're to save her and your throne, we've got to act now.
You call me traitor?
Yes. And every man here who gives you allegiance. Let me ram those words down his throat, Your Highness.
From this night on, I use every means in my power to fight you.
Yeah. Well, maybe you don't have to come to Free Flicks Wednesday because I think we just showed you the entire movie. But if you want to piece together some of the little inserts,
I
then
already
come.
know what's going to happen. I wish I
think we
could
just
get
saw
the
the
pizza.
A little longer than I thought, but it is what it is. Well,
that was a trailer?
Apparently. Anyway, thank you so much for joining us today. Our first show.
Our first show.
Yes, our
This
first
is the
show.
first show. We have another
I think we did
show
pretty
next
good.
Wednesday. Please come back.
Yes, please.
We'll look better every Wednesday.
Technical difficulty.
Difficulty, and we have.
And she'll say celebrity. She'll learn celebrity.
And technical difficulties.
Right. Bye. That's a. Oh my god.